Hi, okay, you ready to work out? So this workout, you're gonna need your free weights. You're gonna want a BOSU or a ball, maybe a step if you have one. If you have a band, you could also use that instead of free weights. And if you have a Thera loop or a band loop, just like this, you can use that. And here we go. So we're gonna start off with some bicep curls and a squat. So you're gonna lower your body down and then you're gonna curl up. And the goal is to push yourself to fatigue and try to get through 15 repetitions if you can. So in staying with the right form. So you wanna anchor your weight through your heels, drop your hips back like you're sitting in a chair. As you stand up, you want to anchor those elbows and curl your weights up towards your shoulders. Good. Squeeze those glutes on the way up. Great. I'm going to do 5 more. On the side. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. And then I'm going to drop down into push-ups from my knees. So my back is flat. I'm on my knees. Hands a little bit wider than my shoulders. And I'm going to go down and up. You want to try to go as low as you can. That's 12, 13, 14, and 15. Great. So I'm going to go through and show you one set of every exercise today. And if you have more time, you can do a whole second set. That would be kind of like in a circuit. So the next, you want to grab your BOSU or a step, and you're going to do a step up. So you're going to place your foot up onto the step or the BOSU, anchor your heel. You're going to lift up and tap down. That's 10. The BOSU is unstable, so it helps you work on your balance. You got to use your core in there. Awesome job. Switch legs. Anchor your foot up onto the step, and then bring your knee up towards your chest, tap down on the ground, and back up. That's 13, 14, and 15. So notice how I'm using my arms to kind of balance out. You can do that as well. Okay, so now if you have a loop, I'm going to have you grab the loop and you're going to hold it in each hand and you're going to pull one arm apart, and that's working the external rotator of your shoulder. So keep the elbows tight into your side. You should feel the burn there on the outside of the shoulder. Okay, that's 15. I'm going to show you also with a tubing what you can do with the tubing. And you can hold it with your palms facing up. And I'll do the other arm with that, where you just do the same thing and slide that hand out, anchoring your elbow at your side. Okay? These work better than using free weights in this position because you're really able to isolate that shoulder and work your external rotator. And 15, awesome. Okay, I'm gonna do a step touch next, and that's where you can use your loop again. If you don't have the loop, you can do it without it. But the loop, as you know, gives you some added resistance. So you're gonna just go side to side 15 times each side. You should feel the burn on those outer thighs and hips. And 15 of those. Okay, now if you don't have that loop or don't want to use it, you can step out. So you can add that outer thigh leg lift as you're stepping out. Step, lift, step, lift. Okay, there's that alternative. Next, I'm gonna do a one arm row, so you wanna grab that weight again, one arm row with a tricep kickback. If you had a bench, you could just rest that hand and the knee on the bench, your coffee table, or you can do it in a stride stance. So that's where your elbow's gonna go down, arm at your side, you're gonna lift up and kick back. Just like that. So up, kick it back, in and down. Great. So you want to try to keep your back as flat as possible. And you're going to lift, extend, bend, and lower. Up, squeeze the shoulder blade, kick back, squeeze the tricep, and down. We're going to do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. And then you're going to switch to the other side and you're going to do the same thing. So up and kick back. Feel that burn through the shoulder blade and the tricep. Five more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Take a break, grab some water if you need it. Stay well hydrated. Okay, next we're gonna do a stationary lunge. If you wanna do this with free weights, you definitely can. You're just gonna hold them at your side. Otherwise, you're gonna take 1 foot back, 1 foot forward. And we're anchoring our weight through our front heel, and we're just gonna lower our back knee down towards the ground, down and up. You don't have to hold weights on this. The weights just kind of give you a little bit more resistance. And 15, good, and then switch legs. Good, you're gonna go down and up. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Good job. Okay, the next one we're going to work your shoulders. So this is where you generally might want to pick up a lighter weight, or you can use a tubing. We're going to do a front combined with a lateral raise. So you want to stand feet shoulder width apart, slight bend in your knees. This one, your arms both go straight up, they come down, and they go straight out. So up, down, and out. So really just up to your shoulder level and then out. So when you're looking at it like this, to your shoulder level and then out. Okay, keep going. If you're gonna use a tubing with this, I'm gonna show you. Keep going though. You can put 1 foot for less resistance or 2 feet for more resistance. So it's up in front, down and out to the side. So with the tubing, you may not be able to lift as high. So notice I can't lift it as high as I could my weights, but I'm still feeling the resistance, right? And what's stopping me from lifting it higher is the resistance I'm getting from the band. So sometimes it's good to use weights, and to change it up a little bit, it can be great to use with a band. Just be careful with the band that you're not trying to overextend yourself and use more muscles than are required. So you don't want to use your back when you do it. That you really want to have come from your shoulders. Also, always keep your abs in real tight and supporting your lower back. Okay? So that's the front with the lateral raise. Great job. Good. Okay. We love this next challenge here. If you have a BOSU, this is great. If you don't have a BOSU, or you're not going to use it, you just do it flat on the ground. But this is a set of BOSU squats. So you want your feet to be right in the middle of your arches, to be right where the bullseye of the BOSU is. And you're going to go down and up. So this, this involves more of your core to stay balanced on the ball. It's okay if you fall off. You wouldn't try this on your ball. A BOSU means both sides up. So you can use it actually with the ball side up on top, or you can put the ball side towards the ground and use the top platform, which is really challenging as well. But this, you should feel the burn definitely in your legs and in your glutes. Keep your abs in. Whoops. Just get right back on. I'm going to do 3 more here. 3, 2, 1. Good job. Okay. Another balance exercise we're going to do is I'm going to have you stand on one leg, and then you're going to do a set of bicep curls out and in. So here you might want a lighter weight. And if this is too challenging with your arms up tall, just do the bicep curl down here. It's totally fine. Balancing on one leg is challenging enough for a lot of people. Okay, and then we're going to go to the other leg. So you're going to stand on that 1 foot and do a bicep curl here. I like to do it so that you're balanced. Maybe 10 reps on one leg, 10 reps on the other, or 12 and 12. If you were out here again, it would be like that. Good, or down here. Good, I'm gonna do 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Okay, so next I'm gonna go into abdominal curls. You can use a ball, you can use a BOSU. I'm gonna use a BOSU. See if you guys can see me do this. So if you're doing a BOSU, you can really just lean back against it. Feet are flat on the floor, hands back behind your head. You're gonna lean back a little bit. Keep your chin neutral, like you can look right over the top of your knees. You're gonna curl up and down. Good. Exhale up, inhale down. The nice thing about this is that it gives you some good back support, but you're not on an even surface, so it takes a little bit of balance and coordination. Now, if I wanted to make it harder, I sit up on the BOSU and have more weight coming off the back end. So now the BOSU is more supporting my middle to lower back. Feeling that right straight through the center of the abdominals. Good, 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Okay, remember, you're going to fatigue. So if you don't feel the fatigue at 15 repetitions and you need to go to 20 or 25, you go to 20, 25. If you're dying at 10 repetitions, then you stop at 10 and then you slowly build up from there. But either way, watch your form on everything. You want to make sure you're in good form. Okay, the next is just going to be a bridge. And if you have a smaller ball, you can put the ball between your knees, and that engages your inner thighs a little bit more. So you can roll your hips up in a bridge, squeeze that ball, and roll your hips down. So up and down. If you didn't have one of those balls, you could use a pillow and put it between your knees. So squeeze on the way up, relax down. Good. And these don't seem that challenging at first, but if you're really engaging and squeezing at the top, your abs and your glutes, you'll feel it a lot more. Let's do 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. You might notice that sometimes I lose count, but I'm kind of going off fatigue levels and seeing how I feel. Okay, so the next I'm going to do a 1-leg bridge. So that one, I'm going to be back in that position where I'm on my back. I'm going to take one leg up in the air, and I'm going to press up and down. This is a great leg exercise, as well as your core. And you can do anywhere from 10, 12, 15, 20 of these. And that's 15 there. So I'm going to switch legs. I'm going to go up, and then I'm going to lift. Placing my weight through my heel that's on the ground, reaching my other leg up towards the ceiling. And that's 15 right there. Okay, the next one is a leg hinge, and I love to use my little ball when I do a leg hinge. You can also, if the ball wasn't the right size that you had, you could use a pillow, or you could just stick your hands underneath your lower back. But with the ball, you You place that low and in the center, and then you bring your legs up into a 90-degree angle, and you're going to tap one leg down and bring it up. Tap one leg down and bring it up. Now, if you needed to make it harder, you can take your leg out straighter, but you want to be careful that your hip flexors don't take over and do all the work. So tap and lift, tap and lift, tap and lift, tap and lift. So here we're really working those deep underlying abdominal muscles. Remember, if you need to make it harder, you take your leg out a little bit straighter. But whatever you do, be sure that you're engaging your stomach, not using your legs, and that you're really drawing your belly button in towards your spine. I'm going to show you without the ball. You can place your hands underneath your hips, and again, you just tap here. The goal is to keep your back pressed into the floor or the ball and let your stomach muscles do the work there. Okay, that's the leg hinge. Okay, and then next, we've got a favorite of a lot of people. We're gonna do a plank. So with the plank, you wanna hold it as long as you can on your elbows and on your toes. And keep your elbows right underneath your shoulders, your body in a straight line. Draw your belly button up towards your spine. Breathe through it. You don't want to feel it in your lower back. So if you do, you want to take a break and drop your knees down towards the ground. This isn't our first ab exercise, so you might be feeling it a little bit more. So if you need to take a break sooner than later, that's okay. I'm going to drop my knees, take a break. You can go and do another one if you want. Building your strength. So if you start off with 20 seconds, 30, if you start off with a minute, you can still build your strength. Sometimes it's good to count out loud or use a stopwatch or your phone as a timer. And the next one we're going to do is the basic mountain climber. So if your wrists bother you, you can definitely use your set of free weights kind of to give your wrists a little bit more support so your palm is not flat with your wrist going into your palm, but you're more at an upright angle like that. So you want your hands right underneath your shoulders, and you're going to be bringing one knee in and then kicking it out. Nice, slow, and controlled on these. On each leg, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Good, that's the basic mountain climber. You can do that faster if you want to, definitely, but slow and controlled is always good, making sure you have the right form. Once you have that down and that's not challenging enough, then you can do it faster. So faster would just be like this.